everybody.
Hello.
It's Emily.
And Casey.
And we're
Those Nelsons.
Back for episode 3.
All right.
Still just shocked that anybody watches, much less.
We're in
just,
a couple of them have gotten a couple hundred views.
Yeah, I think
we're up
still
to
maybe
41 subscribers, maybe.
I think 42.
So
a whole 42.
42.
I think.
Hey,
Yeah.
keep them coming. Keep them coming. We appreciate those of you that have subscribed.
Yeah. We're having a blast. We're having a really good time. It is Saturday. I was just thinking this morning about Coach promising Saturdays for the day that we're going to release new videos. And I just thought about college football season coming up.
Yeah.
So it should be very interesting to see how our Saturday Saturday videos
we may
go.
bump to Sunday. Of course, I've got football on Sundays too, so we'll figure it out.
And by the way, speaking of college football, I had my t-shirt on just for whatever, because we're getting close to football season. How many days do you think?
I think it's 30 days.
30 days till college football starts. Anyway, and then Coach comes out with his I'm married into this t-shirt, which he has to wear if he wants to eat on game days.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad there was a t-shirt that explains how we got here. I'm an Alabama fan, which all my Alabama fans out there, Roll Tide, and but
oh mercy,
yeah,
we weren't gonna talk about that.
We don't, but just married into a Tennessee family, and if I like to be around the family, then I have to at least acknowledge go Vols. But still, the third weekend in October, we just pick sides.
Yeah, and he doesn't eat. Because he's not, I'm not going to feed an Alabama fan, so.
There it is. There it is.
All right, well, it is episode 3, and we really wanted to use a full episode to talk about our kids, because we told you guys a little bit about us and about our marriage and things like that, but we couldn't just fit, enough about our kids without giving them their own. And I have to giggle because a little bit earlier, we texted the kids and asked them to send us some questions to answer. And so we'll be answering some questions from our own children.
Which is actually the fastest response we've gotten from our children. Yeah. Normally we text them and we don't hear from them for days, at least hours. But one of our children in particular, who Caleb shall remain nameless, it could be days. We even have to send a reminder text. Yeah. Did he get the text before? So,
yeah. And I just assume he's dead in a ditch somewhere. So that's
a little morbid, but okay.
I'm just saying, when they don't
that's
answer.
That's a mom for you.
When they don't answer, that's where I think
that's
they are.
Right.
But we do want to talk about kids and marriage and all the things. And we told a little bit of our story, but we did not talk about having kids. When we had kids and all of that. So before we got married, we did kind of have a whirlwind engagement and everything, because we met and married in a year. And we talked about kids and we talked about future, but we had no idea what the Lord had in store for us when we got pregnant on our honeymoon. And so
don't recommend that.
I don't know. We're young empty nesters now.
Turned out great for us, but it's the front end was a struggle for real.
Yeah. So anyway, there were a lot of things that we just hadn't talked about yet with kids, and so I was just thinking, before we take the questions from the kids, since we really didn't have a chance to talk about, what questions do you think would have been good to have asked each other about having kids or all of that before we got married?
Well, we had a little bit of a conversation about kids, but it was not, the conversation was more in passing because we weren't expecting to have kids so early. But I think a question, the obvious question would be, how many were we interested in having? I had 3. I had 2 siblings, so there was 3 of us. There was me. I'm the oldest of 3. And then I have a sister right after me, and then my baby brother. And so, but I don't know. I probably would have said 2, stop at 2. And there's more to that story later on. But that'd probably been the first question, is how many?
You would have said 3 originally, you think?
I don't think so. I think I would have said 2. I would have, especially if it probably would have been, the qualifier would have been, if we have the boy and we have the girl, then, stop at 2.
Yeah, because I know when after we had a boy and a girl, we had Caleb and then we had Kaylee. Um, we were like, "Is this it?" And he was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I think we're good." And I would just stare at our family picture. I would just sit in the living room and stare at our family picture. I was like, "Is this it? Like, is this all of us?" And I could not let it go. I don't think I just
Well,
I wasn't too sure.
I
And
had an
then we got
appointment.
pregnant. So.
Yeah, well, and I had an appointment,
Yeah.
and to keep it at 2, and she was like, "Well, but it's okay." So I canceled the appointment. And that was in October of whatever year, and we found out on New Year's Day of 2006
Yep.
that we were pregnant with number 3. Or I
Yeah.
say we. I wasn't pregnant. She was pregnant with number 3. So
And our life, we had no idea how incomplete our life was without
right,
Cameron. You
right,
know, so
right, absolutely.
yeah. So we do have 3 kids.
Mhm.
We have Caleb, who is our oldest. He is 26.
Mhm.
And then we have Kaylee, who is 23.
3
Will be 24 this year in December.
in December.
And then Cameron, our baby, he just turned 20 yesterday.
So we have no more teenagers.
No
We
more
will
teenagers.
Not experience teenagers
Nope,
ever
never.
until grandkids.
And so we have done a lot of things with them. Obviously, they have all been involved in sports and all been involved in church and choir and band and all of the things. And so chorus,
Yeah.
life has been full and busy. And then the last one leaves, and life kind of just comes to a screeching halt, kind of, without having to take kids places and all that.
Well, that's true. The running around slows down a little bit, but I don't know that it comes to I wouldn't say it came to a screeching halt, because then it allowed you and I to start doing kind of our own thing.
That's true.
If we just, hey, what do you want to do today? Hey, get the car, and we'll go antique shopping. There was one particular day I said, I need you to get dressed. Don't ask any questions. Get dressed nice, and then just, we went to dinner. And
Yeah.
so it's not as hectic, but it's the nice part about it is that we can just pack up and go do whatever, whenever.
Yeah. It was weird though to be home like on a Tuesday night, nothing to do, because there was always a practice or a game or a concert or something. And so just as the kids got older and then as they moved off to college, it was just some of those things that we found ourselves with. We had a show on Tuesday night that just because we were home and we were able to watch it. I did look up some questions to see what they suggest for couples to ask each other before they have kids, and I thought a couple of them were really good. One of them is what you just said was, how many do you want? What is your highest number? But another one is, what about your childhood, and what would you repeat about your childhood, and what would you want to give that to your kids? Or what about your child would you what about your childhood would you want to give your kids?
That's an interesting question. If I could go back in time, like, and take them in a time machine with me, I would probably want to take them to any big family event.
Yeah.
I was very partial to grandmama's house at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was great, but there was something about Christmas time. So I would love for them to experience what I experienced at Christmas time, the holidays. Maybe I would really, what I would love to do is I would love to have my boys. Oh, hold on a second. This one's going to hit. This one, I wasn't ready. I would love to have both my boys in the stands when we won the state championship.
Okay.
In high school.
Yeah.
I didn't even, that just came to me. And that one, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. We warned y'all it would run the, whoo. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on.
Sorry.
And now I'm crying because he is. I'm a crier now. It's weird.
Woo.
So my childhood, I think things from my childhood that I would love to, or I would have hoped to give to my kids, is that family is important. It was just always important in my family, extended family, and all the things was always important growing up. Um, being around each other, food was just super important with us. So that was just one thing that, and I think I've passed that along to our kids. Um, and then Disney, that was something that I did growing up with my family, and we've definitely passed the love for that down
Yeah.
to our kids, and so that's fun. And then what values would you hope to instill in them, and what values were important to you to instill in the kids?
Um, I think we've done that as far as values go. The value of um, a relationship with the Lord, obviously. The value of no one child's situation is more important than another's, but they are all important.
Yeah.
And just, I want to make sure that when I do die, that my kids can say that their dad loved their mom. I want that to be part of the legacy as far as values that are instilled, is that I want to make sure that I am, that they see the husband that my boys can be for their wives and that my daughter can have for her life.
I love that. And obviously, values of the church are important as well, and loving Jesus and being like Him and being involved in the church and being involved in kingdom work and His ministry and things like that are also super important to us. And I hope that we've instilled those values as well in our kids. One other question that I thought was really good, because this is something that we had to work at doing, and that is to make our marriage a priority even when we had kids. And I will just brag on Casey because he has been so good about just making me do that. Because I was always just, we gotta do this, we have to do this with the kids, and we have to do this, we have to go here. And he was like, nope, we're gonna have a date night, we're gonna get somebody to take care of the kids, and we're gonna do that. So just, you want to talk about your thought behind that, or your reasoning behind that?
I didn't want to be staring at a stranger across the living room when the kids did leave. Um, you know, we're all busy, and being a football coach and a school teacher, pretty much, just it can be just about every day. I show up at school 6:15, and I don't leave until 6:15 to 10:15 p.m. depending on the day. So, and the time of year. And so we knew that we were going to be empty nesters one day. And so I didn't want to just start learning who my wife was and what kind of person she was and what she liked. So I didn't want to be around a stranger. And so that's why I was very adamant about making sure that we weren't just about the kids, but that we were carving out time for each other.
Yeah. And even when we didn't go on dates, to our children's horror, we kissed in front of the kids, and we
Very
hugged.
affectionate.
We were very affectionate with each other. Wanted to show our kids that what a healthy marriage
Absolutely.
looks like, and that we
100%.
love each other.
Yep.
And that we now, it's not that they didn't ever hear us fight and didn't ever hear us disagree and things like that, but they for sure always saw us, like I said, much to their horror, probably.
They can be grossed out all they wanted. Yeah.
It's what nightmares are made of. Matter of fact, Kaylee had her daddy rules, and one of them was like, "Don't be doing that in front of me."
Oh, she just would make up rules when she was younger. Oh, gross! That you just broke daddy rule number 25. Well, then I do it again, and then it was like daddy rule number 8. It was like a ranking of rules.
Yeah.
And depending on how many times I violated it, it would move its way up the ladder to.
For sure.
I'm pretty sure it was number 1 at some point.
Yeah.
Kissing you in front of her. So.
But I'm grateful to him for doing that, because we are, for the most part, empty nesters now. We have the kids out of the house mainly. And we are just really enjoying this time. And I don't know, it's just been good. We enjoy hanging out with each other. He just went back to school. I'm still not working. And so, I miss him during the day when he's not there, and he comes running home because he's happy to be coming home.
Absolutely.
And just loving doing that. And then on the weekends, we run around and do stuff that we can, and or we don't. And either way, we have a good time.
And that's about to slow down a little bit
Yeah.
with so my side hustle, if you will, is refereeing football. So I'll be pretty much football all day, every day of the week. Which is great, and I enjoy it. But so we'll be doing. I'll do football in the mornings, and then come home and watch film, and then be watching college football at the same time to get ready for the next week and whatnot. So yeah.
All right. Okay, so we've only seen some of these questions from our own children who have texted us, and the phone keeps dinging.
It's
so
still they're still coming in.
they're still coming in, so we may have to have a part 2. I'm not sure.
We'll see.
But anyway, so we're going to answer some questions from our own kids.
Yeah. So our oldest child, Caleb, asked this question right out of the chute, which he loves to ask this question because he knows it annoys his brother and sister. So, which child is your favorite, and why is it Caleb? To which I said, ha ha ha. It actually is not Caleb because we don't have a favorite, but Caleb, he's the first. And so, there are a lot of great memories with Caleb growing up. But and then Kaylee asks, what's your favorite memory of each child? And that one I thought was a great question. And so we'll go with that one first, and then we'll just keep working down the line. I'll let you go first. What's your favorite memory?
All right, well, let's do a kid at a time. All right, so Caleb, oh my gosh, favorite memory. That's so hard. I have, I'm going to say one of my favorites is when Caleb was probably 2, maybe 3. No, he had to have been 2. He was in the bathtub, and he loved.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna steal mine. Go ahead.
He loved to be in the bathtub,
Mm-hmm.
and but he would stand up and do all these things, and he would always fall, and it was this thing. But he would play in there until the water was cold, and we would kind of like stick one foot in and one foot out, because after a while, we were tired of being in there, but he didn't want to get out. So anyway, he would keep standing up, and we'd come in and we're like, Caleb, we're going to spank your bottom if you don't sit down. And so we were talking, and I turned around, and he was standing up again, and I was about to say something, and he sat down. He went, okay.
Oh, I didn't remember it that way. I thought you were in the living room, and I had come around the corner, and he sat down. And I said something to him, and he went, okay. And you heard him and started laughing, and to which I couldn't keep my angry eyes. It was something like that. But yeah, there was that. Go ahead. That was going to be mine. And I guess another memory.
I just assumed you'd have football things.
I shared. Well, no, I remember. Like, it was a big deal. His first college touchdown.
Yeah.
And it was as a true freshman. He played at Bethel University. I cried when he caught it because that's a big deal. But another football one would be, he played for me as a freshman. I was his freshman head coach, and he came to the sideline and he said his ankle was hurting, and I said, well, can you play? And he said, yes, sir. And I said, then I don't want to hear about it again. And gave him the next play, and he talks about that one as well. But yeah, I mean, him coming up to where I was working, because I was working a night shift, trying to make money and go to school at the same time. Him coming up, and Mom had him dressed up as Junior Asparagus. So that one sticks out as well, mainly because I shared that story last night with some friends. So.
All right, so Kaylee. This is probably your story too. I don't know, but I don't know why this sticks out to me, but it was so hilarious. It's so her personality. We had gone down to Florida, and we had taken the kids. Sometimes we went to the beach side, and there's other times we went to the bay side, just because it was a little less crazy and the waves weren't as bad. So we didn't have to be like as much like on guard, and the water was pretty shallow. But anyway, she had found some shells, and I think even maybe a crab.
Hermit crab.
A hermit crab, yeah. And
they all had.
They were in the buckets and all the things. And I was videoing the kids doing different things. Well, apparently, Caleb had taken hers and thrown it back into the water. And so she's telling the story, and she says, "My brother threw it back into the sea," and like there's this whole little story
Yeah.
that she has. She was so mad at
She
him.
was so mad. She
But
was
that
so
was
mad.
very much her. Very much her.
So Kaylee and I had worked out a thing. I did not get to see Kaylee do a lot of cheering and whatnot, but I wanted her to be able to find me in the crowd when she was doing her dance stuff. And so we made arrangements to where when she would come out, if she was looking for me, I would stand up in the crowd and I'd cross my arms like this. And I don't know why it was that. I guess it was just an easy thing to do. But she would find me doing that, and then she would give me that back. So that's a pretty cool memory that I have. Again, like the others, we I'll include all three of them in this one. So they decided they wanted to adopt some hermit crabs. Well, we had to take them back to the ocean, or to the bay. We took them back to the bay, and uh, they were so excited to have these hermit crabs.
Well, we
And
thought we were going to be able to take them home.
yeah, but
And then I started
not
reading
so
up on how
much.
you take care of them, and there was like going to be a major upkeep, and so
Yeah, so we made them take them back, and it was quiet in the car, and then you began to hear sniffles from all three kids, and we just let it ride. We didn't even ask if they were okay because we knew they weren't, but they were devastated.
And I'm going to give one more about Kaylee because you gave a couple about Caleb. We moved the kids from Bartlett schools to Arlington schools because we moved to the area, and she was getting ready to go into sixth grade at Arlington Middle, and had found out that they had a dance team and like a pom squad, and she was like, "I want to do that." She had never taken a dance lesson. She had never done anything anything related to dance at all. Well, I knew the sponsor, and I was able to get her almost at an audition, a tryout for the dance team. And Casey and I were just so nervous sitting in the car waiting on her to come out. And we were practicing the speech that we were going to give her. I was like,
Yep.
You know what? We'll give you some lessons this year, and next year we'll be able to try out again, and it's going to be great. And she comes skipping to the car and hops in, and she's like, I made it. And we could not believe it. It's not that we didn't think that she was capable of it. She just had never had any experience with it. So I remember the very first show night that they had. She had been going to practice every day, and all the things. And I knew that she was picking some things up or whatever. But that very first show night, I mean, I think I cried the whole time because I could not believe that was my kid and how good she was. She was doing great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's amazing how sometimes as parents we want to guard our kids or protect our kids from disappointment, that we, in the process of trying to guard our kids from the disappointment, we get surprised.
Yeah.
We can't protect them from everything, but and disappointment is something that they have to learn how to work through, but it's also something that we as parents have to learn to work through. And so that was a big moment. That was a huge deal in her life for sure. So,
and as far as Cameron goes and favorite memories, he has always been our one-liner kid.
mm-hmm.
He doesn't say anything. He sits back. He's an observer. He watches, and then he just throws out a random phrase or a question or a comment or whatever, and just makes us laugh. But what's funny is when he was a baby, before he was even coherently speaking, he would like tell a joke, and it was very obvious that that's what he was doing. He would go da 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 da, or something like that, and then he would just wait for us to laugh. And it just cracked me up. He's just always been a funny kid. He's always just said some things that just like out of the blue, completely just, make us all cry laughing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So he was wanting to ride Space Mountain, and he wasn't quite tall enough. And as most of you know, we're huge Disney fans, and so we try to go as often as we can. But we were going to ride Space Mountain, and we thought he was tall enough. And so we kept talking it up and talking it up. And when we get there, he's not tall enough. And he was, um, to say he was disappointed just doesn't really begin to cover it. But he didn't, we had to pass him off or whatever. Well, the next year, we surprised the kids with a trip to Disney. And over that year, he had gotten taller. And we knew how tall he had to be, and we had measured him out. I still have here at this house, I have a growth chart of all the kids. And so I had been doing something like that. So he didn't realize that I was measuring him for Space Mountain because, again, we were surprising the kids. So I just measured him. So I knew he was tall enough. And so we've got video of us actually informing him on the drive down that he was going to be tall enough, he was going to get to ride Space Mountain. Yeah. And the look on his face of, oh, it's for real this time. It's a really, really cute video. Yeah. So another memory I have of him is, and we won't use the language, but Cam was singing Jingle Bells. And it's supposed to be one horse open sleigh. It doesn't sound like that in the video, and maybe we one day will attach a video or we'll play it for you guys.
You can determine what you think he's saying.
It's super cute, but also, we probably would just we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. But, and one other one of Cameron is when Caleb went to Bethel to play college. We were so excited because Caleb was going to be playing on Saturdays. Cameron was going to be playing on Thursday nights as a middle schooler, and so they weren't. There was always an issue of one of them playing at the same time than the other. We would have to divide and conquer and all the things. Well, we were so excited because they were going to play on different days. Well, Caleb's schedule comes out, and his very first college football game was on a Thursday night.
Oh, that's
which was the same first football game of Cameron when he was in middle school.
Yeah.
And Cameron, we were talking about it, and Cameron looked at us. He was like, "Mom, y'all cannot miss Caleb's first college game." Yeah. He said, "Y'all need to go see him play his first college game." And so that's just kind of his heart, and it's been sweet.
Yeah.
So me, Mom, and Granddaddy stepped in and went to his game, and we went to see Caleb's football.
Yeah, they were like, he was like, "Y'all get to watch me play plenty of football games, but you don't want to miss your oldest son's first college game." And he was right. Yeah. But to get his permission and to be okay with that, first of all, it tells you a lot about Cam's character, just how giving he really is. But he is an old soul. He reads the room. He understands things. We're on a mission trip, and he breaks his leg at a 7-on-7. And I was calling him on the phone, and I was super emotional. And I was trying to apologize for not being there with him for his surgery and everything else. And he could tell I was choked up and I couldn't talk. He goes, "Dad, it's all right. God's got you where he wants you right now." Yeah. And he goes, "I'm fine." He goes, you're not going to be doing anything any different than if you were at home. So that's just the kind of kid he is and still is. So
we have a million stories. That one kind of caught me off guard though. Yeah. I wish I could have gone back and thought about that a little bit, but that's off the top of my head. That's what I got.
Kaylee asks, also, she asked, which Marvel superhero reminds you of each kid? I'm not sure that I'm ready to run down that rabbit hole yet, but she did ask it. We'll put that on hold
or later, maybe.
For just a second. Caleb asks, if you could start any business, what would it be?
If I could start any business, I would probably do a wedding venue. I don't know if I'd want to live there or not, but in a southern plantation home. If I just had all the money in the world, and then have weddings and events, and do, not just weddings, also like formal events, so we could cater in and do all those things. I love that kind of
stuff. This may surprise you. It may not. I've mentioned it. But I've been thinking about building and owning a ice skating rink.
You did tell me that.
And just and make sure that I would have the rink built to NHL size, which is a little bit bigger than just your homegrown rinks, but also be able to put turf down and do indoor football with it as well.
Okay.
But it would be just open skate at times. Have hockey leagues and hockey tournaments in the wintertime, and if we need a place because it's too hot, teams can come over and do a little bit of work inside, and it can't be like the outdoor stuff, but
Yeah.
just to be a place and have bleachers in there, and obviously during the holidays, Christmas time and stuff, have Christmas
Ice
skate
skating.
and that sort of
A
deal.
tree
So
in the middle and all that.
have a tree in the middle.
Yeah.
There's just a lot we could do. So I think that'd be a really cool thing
That'd be fun.
to have around here, and I think it would do well. So if I could own it, so that'd be a business, an ice skating business.
Ice skating business.
It'd be awesome.
Okay.
Let's see. If you could be, Cam asks, if you could be in any other profession other than the current one, what would you do? Man, I'd own the ice skating rink.
This is something I've actually been thinking about, and you reminded me this morning, is maybe like real estate. I spend hours on Zillow just looking at houses and in houses and things like that. And I enjoy doing that. So I may be a realtor, maybe.
Yeah, cool. Caleb asked a silly question. He asked, does pineapple belong on pizza? I like pineapple on pizza, especially if it's with Canadian bacon, or even some kind of sausage. I like it. It doesn't bother me at all.
I really don't like warm pineapple. I love cold pineapple. I don't know. And then with cheese, I'm not a fan. Yeah. So no, that's a no for me.
And by the way, if you have questions for us, please be sure when you're commenting down below, ask us your questions.
Yeah.
We would love to field questions from folks, and we'll give you a shout out too when you ask us one, and answer your questions as well. So, but we're going to keep moving on here. Let's see. Cam asked if you had each sibling commit a heist, what would each role be?
If we were going to commit a crime.
Maybe we should have prayed first before we asked our kids to ask questions. If they were going to commit a heist, what would their each role be? Kaylee would be on lookout.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Kaylee would be on lookout.
Yeah. Look up here. Look up here.
Cam would deal with all the computers.
Yes.
Making sure everything got shut down.
Caleb would be the distraction.
Caleb would be the good-looking one that gets everybody looking the other direction. Yeah.
I didn't say good-looking. I just said he'd be a distraction.
He'd be the good-looking one.
Yeah. He can schmooze his way pretty much
Absolutely.
to anything. So he would definitely be like the distraction.
Yeah.
Which leaves us to do what? I don't even know. So.
Oh, I'm driving the getaway car.
So I'm the one who has to go in and steal the stuff?
Well, who better than the best-looking one in the bunch? See what I did there?
No. Okay.
But I had to drive the getaway car.
No, I'm a better driver.
But you're the better driver, but I'm the faster driver.
That is true.
There you go.
Very true.
Let's see. Another question. I'm not answering. We're not going to answer that one. Caleb asked, each child is in jail. What is each of their crimes?
Oh, my stars.
Yeah, I'm not. Now here's a good one. Kaylee asks, what did you think each child would do when they grew up versus what they're actually doing now?
Okay. So, Caleb, I really thought, he went through a lot of career changes, like not career changes, but career ideas. And he was going to be a pediatrician and then maybe a chiropractor and so a lot of sciencey things. But I always felt like he would end up either in the ministry or coaching. And he's done both of those things. And currently he's a youth pastor out in Denver, Colorado. So he's kind of doing what I thought he would do.
That's interesting. I did not think he would ever be in ministry. I really didn't. When they were growing up, I really was hoping he'd do something professionally with football.
I was hoping he wouldn't be in jail. So.
But yeah, definitely not committing heists. Uh, so, but yeah. So, but because I was in ministry and Caleb had family members in ministry, I really didn't ever see him getting into that. And he had gotten in it for a little bit and then thought, well, I don't think ministry is for me. Was into coaching and now got out of coaching to move to Denver and be in ministry. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I thought it would have been cool if he would have been able to do football professionally, but you know, the Lord had other ideas. Kaylee, I thought Kaylee would do something athletic. I really thought that she would go to school and then she'd be a dancer. And maybe even as she's grown older. And when they were little, when they were first born, I didn't want to put that kind of thing in my mind as far as hopes and expectations. But
well,
I really thought dance and dance coaching.
Dance coaching, yeah. Well, every time we would meet teachers, Kaylee's teachers would always say something like, well, I think she might be a teacher when she grows up, which is teacher talk for she's super bossy. And so we kind of knew that, but I knew early that she was going to be a teacher. There was no doubt in my mind that that's what she was going to do. And for those who don't know, she is in school to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually working at a school full time right now. She works in a SPED room, and she's going to be doing intervention and ESL. That's what her degree is going to be in. So there was no doubt ever. And when she said she wanted to do other things, I'm like, no, you're not, because 100% that's what she's going to be doing.
Yeah, and she probably will eventually be a dance coach.
I mean, probably so. Yeah.
Who knows?
And then Cam, the verdict is still out on that. I still think he's going to be in some kind of ministry. He loves computers and loves to do coding and things like that. But and maybe those two things will mash together, and he'll do that. But he has a teacher gift and a coaching gift from the Lord. He is definitely anointed in that, and so he may use that as his occupation, or he may just use that in his kingdom work otherwise. But definitely, I don't know. That's what I love to see.
I'll be honest. I hope he gets into coaching. I still think he can still play football, but right now it's looking more and more like he's going to be on the administrative side of things, quote unquote, coaching and whatnot. So, but growing up, I don't know. There was a part of me that thought he's going to be a comedian.
Well, that's true.
Because his comedic timing is just unreal. So he reads the room, like I said before. He reads the room and does a great job of just observing and taking it all in. So I really thought that he might have and who's to say that he won't down the road. But he's, with him being still in school, it's kind of we're just a wait and see. Yep. So let's see what else we got.
One or two more.
Yeah, Cam wants us to, how many digits of pi can we? 3.14.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. Kaylee, a parent. So Kaylee works at a restaurant, and a couple of my former players work there as well. And so apparently she has told one of my former players who's headed to college to play football here in the fall, has asked this question. It's an honorable mention. And he asked, would you rather have to try to survive a day in the Trojan War or a day in the time of the dinosaurs? And that's a great question.
That's a great question.
And I'll be honest, I would just rather try to survive dinosaurs.
Ooh.
I don't know why.
Okay.
But, yeah, dinosaurs.
If I wasn't a soldier, I would say the Trojan War time, because I would just be living in that time period, which would be better, I would think, than the dinosaurs. But if I were a soldier, I don't know that I'd want to be in the Trojan War.
No, I get it. Man, all great questions, man. Our kids did a really good job. But if you're enjoying this video, please make sure that you like it and that you hit a comment down below. Also, if you haven't subscribed already and you're enjoying all of this and you want to kind of jump in and dive in with us and do life together, please be sure you click that subscribe button and jump in. And we're going to have a good time each and every week as we get a chance. We're going to laugh, we're going to cry. And we're just going to tell stories. So, but with that, we say thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again right back here with those Nelsons 901 next week.